Singaporeans who remember their country's difficult birth, but for an entire region which has come to rely on the judgment of this elder statesman. Lee Kuan Yew prided himself on being an unsentimental man who cared little about his popularity. But his death has brought out strong emotions in some of his people and in his son, today's Prime Minister, as he announced the news.
He fought for our independence, built a nation where there was none, and made us proud to be Singaporeans. We won't see another man like him.
His body was then taken to the presidential palace, where they were already gathering to say farewell. More flowers were laid, and messages of condolence from old and young.
The saying goes, Singapore will not be where it is today if it wasn't for him. And I grew up with him in his generation, and it's such a loss, you know.
That time, if we don't have a leader like that, he can never build a country. It's because of his strict rules. He knows what is best for us.
Lee Kuan Yew was born into a Chinese family in what was then British-ruled Singapore. He was prominent in the independence movement and became the city-state's first Prime Minister in 1959. But against his wishes, Singapore was expelled from the new Malaysian Federation 6 years later. He set about building a first-class economy, attracting investment, but imposing stability on the multiracial city through a strong government that curbed freedoms, something for which he made no apology.
If you look at Singapore today, it says, well, marvelous, everything works. But I know why it works, because I made it work.
It's hard to think of another leader who's had such a lasting impact on his country, and the lines of people you see here waiting to pay their condolences are a mark of the respect that Singaporeans feel for the man they believe virtually built their nation. Most are willing to forgive his ruthless intolerance of dissent. His influence was so profound, it's hard to guess which direction Singapore will take now that he's gone. The impressive wealth and an efficient, honest administration will be his last